we'll start with your wrist rotations, okay, just to warm up your wrists. And then we'll get straight into some weight shifts to get used to those. So as always, the 4 different sets, full circles, with the fingers forward. We're going to go forward, backwards, left and right, and then 1 circle one way, 1 circle back the other way, and then fingers out the way, fingers in the way, and then fingers all the way back towards the waist. Good guys. Sweet. Nice. Cool. So what we're going to go into, we'll go into like a plank, and we'll start some shoulder shifts. So we'll kind of just rotate through, increasing intensity in those weight shifts and shoulder taps, right? Just to give you a kind of idea of where we should be, and then how it's going to feel. So we'll start in that straight arm plank. And what we're going to do, squeeze the bum, squeeze the abs, and we're going to shift the weight to one side, tap the opposite shoulder, place the hand on the floor, and repeat that. And we're just going to do 10 reps, okay? 10 reps, so that's 5 each side. Now watch for, when we shift over, try and avoid rotating your hips also. So we're not trying to go into like a side plank. We're trying to keep our hips squared to the floor as much as we can. And we're just shifting weight side to side. We're not really rotating on our shoulder, if that makes sense. Cool, try 10 of those, 5 each side. Slow and controlled, so you should be able to try and do it in slow motion because you've shifted the weight over, touch, come back down again. If you don't shift your weight and you try and stay here and then just do this, you're going to have to fall and catch yourself. So the idea is we shift over, touch, back on, shift over, touch, back on. Good, guys. Cool. Nice. And then from there, we can add a little bit more pressure through our shoulders. Boom, 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 by going into the pike. So the idea is, if you're in your straight arm plank here, you're going to walk yourself in, so your hips are up in the air. And then we're going to lean ourselves over our hands in that strong handstand position. And we're going to swap, shift weight, side to side, in that position there. So walk yourself into your pike as if you're going to do a piked handstand, a piked push-up. And then think about that strong position from our handstand, right? We squeeze the abs, we squeeze the bum, we suck the rib cage down, the head's through the window, and then we're just slowly going to tap. Now, it says in the standards that we're looking to tap above the elbow. So just get used to that. I know it's not too stressful on the shoulders here, but just get used to that sort of muscle memory of where your hand's going to be. It doesn't have to be your shoulder. It just says anywhere above your elbow. So it can be your bicep. It can be wherever you can get your hands to, right? So let's try 10 of those with that piked position. Jen, you all right?
Sorry, I literally heard the weirdest noise and realised it was my dog scratching at the front door. So I have no idea how he got outside. Why is that front door? I didn't realise he was missing. Okay, pike toe taps. Is that what we're going for?
Yeah, shoulder taps. Cool. When you're ready, guys, in your pike, and then side to side. And then what we'll move on to is the piked, but from a box or a chair or something. So if you have one of those handy, grab that just now. Nice. Cool. And then from there, we're going to go from our knees to start with, okay? And we're going to go 10 reps again. Now, we're looking for that strong position. So get yourself into your strong setup position. And then from here, we're going to shift over, touch, shift over, touch. And we're going to go 10 reps, 5 on each side. Making sure we're squeezing the bum the whole time. I know it's hard to squeeze your bum when you're hinged over, but squeeze those abs, definitely. Try and keep the head through the window of the arms, and then slowly just shift side to side. Nice, Anne-Marie, there we go. Good, guys. So 5 each side. Awesome, team. Nice one, gang. Nice. And then from there, we're going to pop up onto our toes. Okay, so we're going to be up in that the pike position, same again, but from the toes. So we're looking to try and get those hips up as high as we can. So we're probably roughly going to be at 90 degree angle, depending on our hamstring flexibility, right? So try and get yourself in at 90 degrees. Make sure we're setting up with the head through the window. Try not to have the ear miles back from the shoulder, right? We're trying to stay in this position here. We're still pressing through that strong position, and then we shift, and then we can tap as we go.
Is it still in the box?
Yeah, still in the box, but it's off of our knees onto our toes. Let's do it. Let's try 10 of those as well. If you have to do it in 2 sets, that's fine. But just slowly chip your way through those. Good, guys. Nice. Oh. Good, team. Cool. We'll move on to kicking up against the wall. Okay, we'll kick up against the wall, and then before we take our hands off the floor, we can play about with different variations of just shifting our weight with our hands planted, maybe lifting up onto our fingers and then back down, and then we'll see how we feel about taking the hand off of the floor. So the idea would be you're going to kick yourself up against the wall into your strong handstand shape, and then to start off with, all we're going to do is just shift the weight from one shoulder over to the other one. Nothing crazy, just slight shifts left and right, okay? Now aim for 6 of these, so 3 on each side. Whenever you're ready, team. Just make sure we get into that strong position and we hold that the whole time. And it's just slight shifts left and right. Nice. Good. Cool. So a progression from there would be that when we rock over, we're going to try and lift the heel of your palm, if you want to call it that, I don't know, up off of the floor. So that way we're just shifting the weight over a little bit more so that when we shift over, we can lift the heel of the palm off every single time and just try and just shift the weight a little bit more each time. So the idea is eventually we're lifting that hand up off of the floor, right? So this time when we're up, you're just going to shift over a little bit more. And as you press, you're almost going to try and like press the heel of your palm off of the floor. You almost like roll onto your fingertips a little bit and then back down again. So have a play about with that. It doesn't have to be 6. It can be there and back. It can be 4. Just get used to that shifting the weight left and right and see how we get on. You might find that the freestanding ones are slightly easier because if you do it on the way down, if that makes sense, there's not as much weight going through your shoulders. Because obviously if we're stacked up on the wall, we have to be or we fall down. That's all your body weight going through your shoulders, right? But if we're doing it freestanding, and then in the standards it states as long as your feet aren't on the floor, you can essentially be, if this is against the wall, you can essentially be in this angle here, tap your shoulder before your feet hit the floor, right? So it's a little bit easier. But try this one just now, see how we get on, and then we'll see how we feel about kicking up without the wall to help us.
So would you recommend positioning of the feet close together or slightly?
Depends on your balance, really. So if we're thinking like perfect handstand, we want those feet squat, legs squeezed together, toes pointed. But when I did it, my legs were just kind of neutral, just going with wherever I move, right? So try and focus more on squeezing your abs, squeezing your bum, and then whatever your legs do, that's fine. Because we want to stabilize what our shoulders and our midline are doing first before we worry about the furthest away point from the ground, essentially. Yeah. So let's kick up against the wall, and we're just going to shift a little bit further, right? We're going to shift a little bit further and try and get the heel of the palm off the floor. If you can do a little like jump when your whole hand comes off the floor, that's fine. Not a jump, but you know what I mean? Like shift over a little bit so you can like shrug your shoulder, bring the hand off, come back down again. Play about with them. Let's do it.
I just ask a question quickly.
Yeah.
Your hands, should they be like, because mine are quite narrow usually, so should we just keep them in the same position or move them wider a bit?
Whatever you're comfortable with. So if you go a little bit wider, it might let you to shift over a little bit further. But it might put extra stress on your shoulder, because if it's not stacked the way you're normally used to it being, out here might feel heavier, if that makes sense. So play about with different hand placements, different shoulder widths, and see how we get on. Normally you want it to be what you're familiar with. Cool, guys, let's do it. Nice. There you go, very good. So set up in that strong position first, shift over.
Oh, I can't do the shifty bit.
Good, yeah. Marie, stay tight. Nice. Focus, as soon as we kick up, focus on staying as tight as we possibly can before we move. Good. These are tough, right? These are tough.
Yeah.
So these are like progressions into your handstand walk, right?
Okay.
Because before we start taking steps with our hands to move forward, we need to be able to shift the weight left and right? Because when we do take that hand off the floor to take a step, we're being supported by one hand. So what we can try, if you want to, is kicking up into the freestanding handstand, and just trying the same thing. So you can even do it like the little donkey kick. Don't worry about getting all the way up. Think about, I'm going to put my hands on the floor, and as soon as that second foot comes off of the ground, all I'm going to do, tap, come back down again. So the idea is my arms stay as straight as possible, tap, come back down again. Now that time my legs were still split. So we're not looking to get into that perfect handstand. We just need both of our feet off, touch, back down again. Okay, now you may only you're only going to have the time to do single reps, but that is going to allow you to chip through the workout in that 5 minutes at the end of
And that's saying we get past the 30 handstand push-ups.
Well, you're going to have to, regardless if you finish the workout or not, your 5 minute window starts either when you finish or at 50 minutes. So we all do the second part regardless of what our first score is.
True enough.
Cool. So if you guys want to try it, give it a go. If you want to stay at the wall, that's perfectly fine. We can stay at the wall. Good team. Nice. Good. There you go. That's one. We're chipping through. We're chipping through the reps.
Let's see if I can do the other hand though.
Yee-hoo.
Nearly killed myself though.
Good, Jen.
I'm concentrating trying to get my legs up too high. I think.
God.
Jen, there you go. That would count. Nice, Tony.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Good. Strong, Tony. Nice. Good. So we know that if we're we know we can get, if we're using that option, we know we can get through those reps, right?
Yeah.
And because it's an AMRAP, we get through the pistols first. Don't rush through the pistols, and then just use whatever time it takes to get through the 30 reps, right? Don't rush them. Get through those reps, and if we're consistent enough, you might end up getting back into that second set of pistols again. So it's all just about being consistent. Don't try and rush them. Nothing crazy. Cool.
Okay.
Nice, Jen.
Oh, jeez.
Good, Tony.
It's so hard to still try and think about the whole like shaping stuff. I guess your shape will be a bit different, won't it, if your legs are not.
Yeah, 'cause you're not allowing
on top.
yourself. Yeah, you're not allowing yourself to get there. Nice, Tony. Strong. That was good. Nice, Henry. You look like you're going for a second one there.
Oh.
Good.
I think that's me for the night.
Yeah, that's fine.
My back's feeling it now.
Yeah, these ones are, because there's so much movement, we want to think about squeezing those abs as tight as we can before we do anything, right? I know in those quick little ones, it's hard to do that because you're trying to get the rep done before you either get into the handstand or end up back on the floor, right? Not normally the progression we would jump straight to in the plan that we had, but obviously with the workout that's been thrown at us, that's the easiest way we're going to get through it, right? But anything we do, even in the workout hand part beforehand, so you guys have got dips, and what's the first movement?
What, just tricep dips?
Yeah, between two chairs.
So can I just use the box?
I think it'll ask for your feet being off of the ground because it says between two chairs. I don't know. I'll have a look.
So you've got to dip your whole body weight.
I'm assuming so. I haven't seen it. I just seen dips between two chairs. I'll have to look up on the standards for that.
I once did some dips at DW with a resistance band and smacked myself in the face.
Nice. I remember Coach Kirsty used to, when she first joined, she joined Dundee way back when, and she was doing, there was two instances with the band. She was doing kip and pull-ups, I think, with the band, or muscle ups or something, and it slipped off of her foot and like pinged up between her legs. Yeah, so I had to like help her out with the little swing she ended up getting herself into. And then the next time was she let go of the pull-up bar while her foot was still in the band, and I'm sure she ended up like either breaking her foot or spraining her ankle or something.
Oh,
God.
Yeah. And then we had a class before when there was a guy's first trial, banded pull-ups. As we were trying to teach, like, say, okay, if you're on the box, bend your knee, then take your band off your foot. Don't try and take the band off your foot with a straight leg because there's heaps of tension on it. Straight leg, band smacks him in the face. Like, oh no.
God.
Yeah.
That was looking good, Tony. That looked like that was like 2 reps. Great.
There we go.
Yay.
So where are we with that one? I think it's dips. Handstands in a box. Yeah, okay. So set up a stable dip position, test the stability of the at the start and the finish of each rep. The athlete's arms must be straight with the feet off of the ground. So you're dipping your full body weight.
Oh, terrific. It's getting better and better, isn't it?
They did say that equipment free would be like RX standard, didn't they?
Yes.
Now, what can I do with it to stretch off my right top glute for this one? Because I was getting my back pain going across the lower back, but I can feel it right at the top of the right glute, right at the top.
So
To loosen that off.
Yeah, so you could try on your foam roller if you want to get on the foam roller at some point. You don't have to, but what you can do is on the foam roller.
Almost myself when I look at that, I'm in pain.
You're sitting on it. If I'm on my right butt cheek, I'm going to lift my right leg up, and then that's going to let me hit my piriformis a bit more, and it digs in a bit more at the top of your butt cheek. Or that on the floor, we then have the leg on top, lie on the back, and we could pull on the shin towards us, and we're going to feel that in the same position. Or make it a little bit more intense, hold on to like your hamstring, and then you could pull that a little bit further in.
Okay, cool.
Try and stretch off your piriformis. And if you have a lacrosse ball, get on that thing, and that digs in way more than your foam roller does.
I've got one of those jaggy foam rollers though.
Ooh. Those the squishy ones. Sometimes they look real mean, but they're real soft.
No, they make me. I just need to look at them and I'm in pain, and I want to cry.
We have one of those Shack tea mats. Shack tea.
Oh yeah, I've seen people on those.
Mel bought one, and like she bought it. It was like 50 quid. I was like, "You bought what?" And I use it every night. But I don't think it. I mean, it makes me feel really good afterwards. Like it hurts the whole thing, but as soon as I get off, like I feel class, and then I fall asleep like instantly when I go to bed. So I only do it at nighttime. And I'll fall asleep instantly, but I wake up the next morning feeling just the same. But I don't know. So if anything, it makes me sleep better. I think. I don't know.
That's worth £50, I'd say.
A mat that's covered in nails. I was like, what?
Wow.
£50? I can make one of those. When you guys want to try this workout?
Saturday.
Saturday? Yeah, cool. And then if you need to redo, you can redo it on Monday.
No. No.
One and done.
One and done for sure.
Yeah.
I might need to try and go practice some things tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might practice more of what I just done tonight and loosen off my piriformis.
Yep.
Just get used to it.
Get on that thing. What normally brings it on? Is it from tight glutes or?
I don't know. This is my back problem I've had for a long time, and then I've realised that I can feel it just when I do the your good mornings. It takes a while for that to loosen off, and then it can really kill my back. Then my lower back can be.
Okay. Yeah. So tight piriformis as well as potentially tight hip flexors can be causing your back to hurt a bit. If you think like your movements like your deadlift, your good morning that you're talking about there, that's all like mega flexion in the hip. So if you think about trying to stretch off your hip flexors also, like your psoas, whatever the full name of that is, iliacus or something like that.
Oh yeah, sacroiliac joint.
Essentially, your hip flexor in your groin, right? Try and stretch that off. Mine gets real bad when I've done like squats, and then I can feel it when I stretch. I can feel it like pulling on my abs as well, because obviously your hip flexor attaches higher up. It's not a nice feeling. But I'll do like the couch stretch to help that one, where I've got essentially in this position here, and I'll start back here to hit my hip flexor and my quad, but I'm trying to, instead of just sitting neutral, I'll try and squeeze my bum or almost like tilt my hips forward, and that'll hit my hip flexor. And then to get it even more from here, I'll come out in front. Hands can be on the floor to start with, or you can lift your chest up. But again, it's when I say squeeze your bum, it feels strange because you can't really. But again, I'm just trying to tuck my hips under and go forward, and that's going to hit your hip flexor. And then to increase that even more, you can put your chest up and then try and extend backwards, and that's going to hit, for me, it's from like the bottom of my quad into my hip flexor all the way up to like middle of my abs.
Sure.
And then hopefully that should take some pressure off your back as well. So if you're hitting like your piriformis in the back and then hitting your hip flexors in the front, hopefully that eases it off a little bit for you. So if you try those and then see, they don't feel good, none of it feels nice, but hopefully it takes away some of that pain.
Yeah.
Have you had it seen to or anything, or?
Pardon?
Have you had it seen to? Have you seen physios or?
Need a chiropractor. I'm going to see Stuart Barton, I think, in about 10 days' time.
Cool.
Don't know what I've done to it. I think I've just woken up one morning and that was it, kind of.
Yeah.
Saturday, what the routine was for Saturday, I'm sure I woke up and I was like an old woman crawling out of bed because I knew I had snatches to do.
Yeah.
Fine, once I got warmed up and stuff, it was all good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Stuart Barton's good. He's the one that helped Jamesy out with his arthritis in his hip.
All right, okay.
Has he got an arthritic hip?
Yeah, Jamesy got arthritis in his hip.
Wow.
Yeah.
That my partner's got that as well.
Yeah.
Got told when he was